Aloha everyone, Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. This video lesson is going to probably be long because I'm going to take a victory lap and I'm also going to bitch about missed trades. But most important, did you guys watch last weekend's video lesson? I'm 100% sure in that video lesson, if not in that one, members of Big Wave Trading have known leading up into the FOMC announcement. Everyone was expecting a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of move, but I made it very clear, especially that weekend of the last video lesson on this YouTube channel, that sentiment is still completely offside. There are way too many bears, and I believe it's going to be a buy the news, buy or buy the rumor, buy the news event. That is exactly what we have seen. The SPY, new all-time highs. QQQ, new all-time highs. IWM didn't, well, it closed at a new all-time high yesterday, but hasn't surpassed that little all-time high back in 2024 right here, the intraday high. But overall, everything is working. And yes, I am missing trades, but I gotta say, I'm gonna talk about app right now. I tried to swing this one here, right here, was stopped out here and got the great signal off the 21 EMA here and didn't do anything. And app is now up 57% since right now every trade is all in. If I get one signal, whatever I have left in my buying power and I'm 200% long, whatever capital is raised the session before overnight, that all gets placed into the next signal. Rinse and repeat right now. But app, I miss out on that 57% gain. Though I bitch about that, guys, who was buying app in the long-term portfolio in March and on April 3rd and April 4th? What is app's return since April 4th in that long-term account? 195% gain. There's my first victory lap. So the long-term portfolio is still hitting new highs, and it's because of stocks like app. Now, in that long-term portfolio, my biggest positions are my forever holds. TSM, new all-time highs. Tesla, we're going to get there very soon. Then we have NVIDIA, near all-time highs. AVGO, near all-time highs. So we've got a lot of good. Oh, yeah, I forgot one. PLTR, what's about to hit new all-time highs. So those are my 5 forever holds. And by forever, it's more like 20-year holds probably, if nothing changes with the companies, I'll keep holding them. But if something drastically changes, then obviously there'll be sells. But with my forever holds, the long-term portfolio, new all-time highs at the end of the week. Another portfolio hitting new all-time highs is a quarterly portfolio. After beating the SPY by 3 times, or actually 2 times, 300% in the last quarter, this quarter so far, going into the close, and I can't disclose the positions yet because we just did it at the end of August. DC has calculated the quarterly portfolio. We are up 6.96% this quarter to the S&P 500's 3.79%. It's almost 2x, almost 100% outperformance of the SPY in the quarterly portfolio. On top of that, the swing accounts, they're rocking. They are absolutely rocking, and I got to take more profits on more trades. So what you're going to see in this is the white triangles. That's where I entered these positions. LEU, after today's session, it's now up 35% since we entered. And I'll remind everybody, just like in this video lesson when we go over the one new long signal for Monday, I give you guys these trades well before I enter the orders on my end, which means if there's only so many shares available, if I put in an order for 200 shares and you put an order for 400 and 401 shares trade at that price the next day, you're going to get the 400 shares. I'm going to get the one because it's first in, first out, and you're first in. So when I make this video lesson for the new long position this Monday, I don't have a position yet. You can all front run me with the orders. Now, the stock I got is super liquid. It isn't going to matter. We're all going to get involved. But LEU, I got to take 10% off at the market at the open on Monday. Another stock I got to take 10% profits on, SYM. It's not up a whole lot, but it's near 20%. When something is up near 20% or over 20%, I start taking profits. So 10% of my position will come off the table Monday morning. And then there's RGTI. Now, RGTI is kind of a bummer. So it's up 118% since I went long, but I barely have any of it left. And I added to the position using RGTX here on this day, and I was completely shaken out on this candle right here. I did not get back in. Now, RGTX, I think RGTU is in this one. Yeah. So what kind of gain did I miss out by not getting back in after getting shaken out? Only a 172% gain. And from the original entry, what is it up now? 209% gain. So that's what can happen if your stops are too tight. And clearly on that one, my stops were too tight. Where my stops weren't too tight, QUBX, I'm using QUBT to track it. You can see the original entry, but we added to the position back here. And QUBX on the day of the ad only filled half my order. I kept it live on the books, and it fully filled on this day. QUBX is now up 94% since that entry, and I will be taking 10% off at the market at the open. And then SoFi, another one. I barely have any left, but I have to take some profits off because it's almost up 100%. So that tiny position that I have left in this, and yes, it's tiny, that'll be another 10% profit at the market at the open. And then I just want to show you one other winner because we've been taking profits in it, IONL, and I've been using IONQ to track it so you can see when the signal was and when the entry date was. And listen, guys, if this signal would have came the next day, you guys, or 2 days later, when is it? The 12th was the Friday video lesson. You guys could have got in on this. But members, you got the trade idea before I took it. So, like I said, everybody can front run me. Members can constantly front run me. We took profits after this day. We took more profits after this day. I took even more profits after this day. So, yes, it's not a full position, but maybe you're a better trader than me. Maybe you still have a full position. That's a 145% gain since our signal. So like I said, things are working really well right now, and we're going to keep it going. We're just going to keep it rolling, rinse and repeat every day. We have trailing. I'm a trailer. I have trailing stops, and I take profits on the way up. I can never get all in my favorite names like A-Lab. You can see when I finally was able to get in, missed it on this day, up 166% since missing it on this day, which was a big mistake because this is my favorite stock in the stock market. CRDO is my second favorite stock in the stock market. Notice how there's no white arrow on that one. Unforgivable. Potential future, A-Lab and CRDO. AAOI. I'm watching this cup with handle form. I'm hoping I can get my 21 EMA entry. And then there's two other stocks that are kind of close. TSSI, not so much anymore. And then AEVA, but those really aren't of the same kind of caliber because they don't have positive EPS. But there's just a lot of options out there. And speaking of that, now let me just go over all the missed trades. GFI. I tried to get long this one with a buy stop limit order. It gapped on me. It missed my limit order by like 10 cents, and I missed out on a 61% move. However, it made the weekly squeeze scan on this day. Should have entered it, or this day. Should have entered, because the day before it was right off the 50 SMA, but it finally makes the weekly squeeze scan this day. Should have entered it. Missed out on a 67% gain. So there's a miss. We've already reviewed apps miss. How about this one? ATCH. So I finally took a speculative long trade on BTOG, but the problem with this one is no trigger, no fill, no losses. But because BTOG did not work, and that's whenever I canceled it, once it got the yellow BOP, balance of power indicator at the bottom of the screen, I did not take ATCH on this signal or on this signal. Told everybody in the video lesson, probably going to regret it. Well, sure did. Miss gains. Completely missed this one. And I never would have missed it if BTOG would have worked. But BTOG didn't work. only missed out on a 671% gain. So it happens. Then recently, SMR. Now, luckily, once again, DC entered it. So, guys, not only are my alerts killing it right now, but Patzer's alerts, DC's alerts, Brahma's alerts, Money Mike's alerts. We have multiple guys calling out some amazing trades lately. And yes, it is a condition of the market. But here's the thing. We're bullish. We're not bearish. I know a lot of bearish guys right now. SMR, since me not taking this trade, up 20% almost. SMU, which is this leverage ETF that we always use if we have an option, that's up almost 40%. So it's a pretty good market right now, but there's still missed trades. Speaking of missed trades, QBTS. I posted in the chat room. Does QBTS want to play catch up with the rest of the quantum names? It sure did. Well, what did I miss out on QBTX? Only 118% gain. So I'm still missing trades, but at the same time, we've got a lot of winners. There's a lot working. And another missed trade, which I completely underestimated, HRTG. So HRTG makes the weekly squeeze scan, which we'll review IntelliChart version 25 after this here. Don't buy it because it doesn't touch the 21 EMA. Then it has this ugly session. Then it reverses. Now I'm re-interested in it. I just need to get some kind of hammer candle or candle off the 21 EMA after that reversal to show that it works. Came so close here, but look closely. Didn't touch. Came close here, but look closely. Didn't touch, and now it's gone. Another miss from the weekly squeeze scan. First GFI, now HRTG. This week, only one stock made that scan, HNRG, not at the 50. This is when it made the scan. So I'm waiting for a 21 EMA bounce and another stock that's back in the scan in our long-term portfolio as well, Spotify. And this is what it looks like on the weekly. Really, really cool. All of these are actionable. We'll review those before we end the video lesson. So besides that, I just want to show you some other charts that I'm watching. That could have been potential long signals today. GEV, eBay. I mean, it's amazing. TIGO, CEG, which is like VST, and GEV. ASM. I mean, there are some really good looking stocks out there. And then also stocks that I'm tracking on an end-of-day basis that I got completely shaken out of, like URA. This one would be a 10% end-of-day profit signal, but I got shaken out. Took small loss on the last piece that I had. And by the way, we have small losses all the time. We have to cut our losses all the time. We take that capital and put it into the next big winner. And another one that I no longer have, AEM, look at where the white arrow is. Take a wild guess where I got completely knocked out, but on an end-of-day basis, which is how I track these stocks for members, never triggered a sell signal, so it's still going strong. So you can't be perfect out there, and there's a lot of good stocks out there, so there's going to be a lot of misses. One that I've just completely have screwed up is RKLB. You can see the first entry here. I still have a tiny, tiny piece, and I'm holding more positions now than I've held in a long time. I think I'm up to right now in the swing position accounts. I am personally holding right around 23, 24 names, which is a massive amount, but I'm 200% long. I have no buying power each and every day, but every time I have any buying power, whatever signal triggers gets all of it. And tonight, for Monday, the signal is EME. Now, you already see a white triangle there because on the swing side already has been a long signal. However, this day right here knocked me out of basically 75% or plus of it, and then also knocked me out of some here. So it is what it is. But guess what? Where EME is. It's not in the long-term portfolio. Take a wild guess what other portfolio it's in. So EME is a new swing trade. Why is this swing trade today? Look at this volume surge in the middle window pane. Look at what it does to all the previous volume bars. Truncates them all. And look at what my BOP indicator does. Max green, volume truncation, hammer candle right above the 50, right off the 21 EMA with a near high day close. So all of my available buying power is going into EME above the high of the day, 634.73, with using a 1% limit offset. So on Interactive Brokers trader workstation. It's a good to cancel, buy stop limit order. Stop is 634.73. Limit is 1% higher than 634.73. And I will stop out completely of the position and attach, excuse me, a trailing good to cancel sell stop order to this low a day right here, which happens to be 611.23. And if it triggers, fills, and fails, so be it. We have tons of signals because this is a very strong market. Bulls did increase finally in the AAI survey, but in the NAAIM exposure index, it fell by 1% until everything's hot. Investors intelligence bulls are over 60%. CNN fear and greed is extreme greed. AAII shows way more bulls and bears. NAAIM is over 100% exposure index. It's going to be impossible for me to be bearish on this market. Now, we're supposed to be hitting the very extremely seasonally weak period of the market starting next Monday. We'll see if that follows through, but right now, I just wouldn't bet on it. Positioning is just too offsides. So EME is a new long position. Is there any leverage products for EME? I looked it up, and as far as I can see, I typed in Emcor 2X in version 25, and I typed in EME 2X in version 25. There was nothing. So let's go ahead and pull up version 25. Version 25, by the way, references Telechart version 25. So this is the weekly squeeze scan. These are the names in it right now. You will notice something. Half of them are foreign. Half are listed. FI and MY. Look at this consolidation. Very, very strong. It's in this weekly squeeze scan. So this is what it looks like on the weekly time frame. This is what it looks like on the daily. THLLY, I know nothing about this stock. Nothing. But it's in there. There's HNRG, which was new this week. There's HRTG, which was new 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. Completely missed. There's SPOT. This is the green line, all-time high breakout line. Look at this weekly base. Now, it did fail the 21 EMA. Normally, I just like to see hammers like this through the 21 weekly, but still, squeezing, perfect consolidation, could potentially be a huge winner, and I could easily see this going to 1,000 based on its earnings and sales estimates. And then, of course, Xiaomi Corporation is in the weekly squeeze scan. This is what it looks like on a weekly. This is what it looks like on a daily. So a lot of good looking stocks. It's almost overwhelming, but just know right now, I'm just trying to get long one new stock each day on the swing position accounts, just one, and it takes all my buying power. And tonight, for Monday, it's EME. All in with whatever limited remaining buying power that I have, EME. Have a wonderful, I should say, rest of your weekend, everyone. I don't ever really ask for this, but guys, I'm giving you some money-making ideas. If you could please like, subscribe, share the video lesson. Comments would even be better. And heck, if you want to look at the description box below, take a 2-week free trial to bigwavetrading.com and see what I have to offer. The most important thing is we take losses all the time. We just keep them tiny. And every trade that I take, I give to you before I ever enter the orders on my end.